Chu shook his head insistently. This made Zhang Yi wonder in his heart. Missile. It is one of the most important strategic weapons. Currently, its destructive power can overwhelm almost any mutant. The SAO doesn't use missiles. Hit the exact position of the lunar eclipse. It's like understanding the questions in everyone's heart. He explained, Real Moon owns satellite jammer. Even though our nebula system, they can identify the area they're in. But we can't pinpoint their exact location. LAN New City reminder, they can jam satellite reconnaissance within VI radius 5 kilometers. Chu himself nodded yes, 5 kilometers. It's really hard to use ammunition covered within VI radius 5 kilometers. But rest assured, this time we've prepared something else. I'm sure it will give them a big surprise. Everybody's a little excited. See, this must be the secret weapon of the Jiangnan region. Even though SAO, that organization, is also at the regional level, can't be without some hidden things. Don't tell anyone. The second team captain must be flying. He also published the results of the group's research. Unarmed trash pulls satellite phone out of pocket. Open a distribution file on it. Start reading according to a scientific paper. His voice was cold. Combined with 7 defeats in the first battle, we've learned important lessons. That's not to divide the troops. Even when divided into 3 teams, also necessarily make sure the distance between teams is no more than 2 kilometers. And need regulation. When a team encounters a lunar eclipse, the other 2 teams must move quickly to support. We don't let our opponents lead, because they're very good at information. They're targeting the abilities of individual mutant teams, dispatching mutants to fix us. Then, we can also base it on the battlefield. When time changes opponents. These words made Zhang Yi suddenly see. He couldn't help but look a few more times at the space shuttle. This man is just over 30 years old. Even though the face is a little mediocre. But only from the first battle. Can point out the 7 center of failure correctly. And figure out how to respond. Enough to see that his mind is not simple. Changing opponents this method is great. In the first battle. Important reason. 10 teams of mutants killed so quickly. It's the leader's ability to be controlled. In the war of Delta mutants, the influence of low-level mutants is very small. The 13 members of the group, everyone is a wicked man in the East, are also Delta-level people. The police have also thought, if only they had changed opponents. Even if the vanguard can't beat the moon, you can't lose like that. Come here, Zhang Yi cannot help but worry. If the moon, it's actually capable of collecting 10 bits of information, can't solve that, then they can discover his power. To what extent? Do they know his true power? If so, they'll send the AI Raws to deal with him. He doesn't know that everything is a mystery. I think maybe he should be more careful. We are in the light, and the enemy is in the dark. If you're not careful, flipping a car in a ditch will be bad. The chapter decided to remain hidden. Life is above all. In the head of Chu, they've even started to consider. Put this into your action plan. He gave me a very good nod to your proposal. We'll consider the space probe and then slowly sit down. He looked at the captain of the 3rd team. It's a 10-way dance. It's your turn to dance 10. Tell me what the outcome of your team's discussion was. A more cautious course of action. It's also suggested by the 10-way universe. He believes that the members of the organization, they all have very strong personal abilities. And if you confront them, the normal mutant type, even when you win, it will also be catastrophic. So the best way is to use numerical superiority to drain their energy. Wu 10 has proposed. Let's mobilize 1,000 soldiers to blockade Jiangnin Square. Each of you is armed with a missile launcher. Then fire a hot weapon at them and force them to show up. That way, they're going to have to deal with hot weapons or confront tens of thousands of soldiers equipped with a crash starter. We believe that even the most powerful mutant, I can't stand a team like that. The whole hall fell silent after listening to the 10-way dance. Everyone at the headquarters looked at him with strange eyes. Even Zhang Yi couldn't help but shake his head. This plan, unfortunately. The new city has spoken, the thoughts in everyone's heart. It's something that can't be done. He pushed his glasses up and looked at the 10-way dance. You think that it's so easy to manufacture an armature SAO. Even in the general headquarters of Jiangnam, there's only a handful of special forces. I got this bullet. Not to mention the number is limited. Don't say 1,000. Even 1,000 soldiers equipped with a missile launcher. It's also not practical. So your proposal is basically not possible. The face is a little unsightly. But only a few of us, not sure, was able to completely destroy the lunar organization. So there's as many people as possible. Chu's eyes flashed sharply. Of course, he knows what the world says. But the 10-way universe doesn't understand that. In the Jiangnam area, there's not that many forces now. Even 6 investigation teams. There are currently 4 teams that are working outside. Jiangnin City is the locality of the 10. It's understandable that he's nervous. However, the Jiangnam area, you can't put all your forces together in dealing with the lunar organization. Chu himself spoke slowly. Our goal this time is to destroy the lunar organization. But it doesn't have to destroy them all in just one time. These guys are cunning. He's always playing hide and seek with us. They may be from the city of Linhai, run to Jiangnin City. Then they're also likely to hide somewhere else. Surround them and destroy them. At least we have to mobilize 10 times more troops than them. This means that gather all the top mutants of different cities in the entire Jiangnam area. If you do that, we're likely to be targeted by other outside organizations. Attack. It is written in Sun Tzu's strategy that they use 10 parts. 5 parts hit, twice divided. At the same time, you can fight a little and escape. Poor can be avoided. I know that the enemy has won 100 battles. The 10-way dance is a little hot. The program must first defeat them, fighting directly to destroy their organization. Find out about their situation. Like this, even if you can't solve them. In one time, they can also stop their arrogance. Let's not forget that we're fighting in our own backyard. Prolonged war of attrition is good for us. Our forces and resources can be continuously replenished from the back. There are only 13 of them. The more you fight, the better. So the later this war comes, the easier it is for us to fight. Chu is the military. His military thinking is visionary and strategic. He didn't think about it from the beginning. It has to be completely destroyed. All the members of the organization. Although it's a good wish. But it's very difficult to do. The moon will not be so stupid. Know in advance whether to fight but run to to risk their lives with the people of Jiangnan. Let the magic sit down. Listen to the words of Zhu. In his eyes a glimpse of impatience. He crossed his arms. Maybe we have a simpler way. It's aimed directly at their leader. You just have to defeat the king. The wolves will quickly melt away. The Lord has spoken for the first time. It immediately caught everyone's attention. There's no other way. An action this time. The team of angels is the main force. And this captain, this is the main focus of this campaign. The marshal smiled. He always understood Deng's personality. It's such arrogance and arrogance. But every time, God's people can complete the task very well. The general likes such young people. Have lice advance. Have the will to fight. Lan Tan Than spoke up. We know very little about Hawaiian. Leader of the lunar organization. Even in the East, his personal records were also sealed. According to initial estimates, this man's fighting ability, probably no less than the captains of the 6 investigative teams. They want to do the killing. For their leader, it will be very difficult. Of course, if Captain Deng can do it, then we'll greatly shorten the progress of our conquest. Let the gods tilt their heads, hair like a waterfall drooping. Then just leave this to me. His eyes were full of confidence. It's not arrogance or pride. It's about clear perception, about the power of self. The wise man speaks slowly. Who has been marked by me. No one has ever been able to escape. Now he is a dead man. This confident tone, it made the smile on Zhu's face even clearer. There is only the Chief Justice, as a member of the investigation team. To face the divine Deng, it looks a little complicated. He wondered when we could be as confident as he was. After becoming captain, he doesn't have the confidence to be magical. To say such words. This is the power gap. Once the psychic Deng spoke up, the others, there's basically no more opinions. Chu himself said, "So you guys have a problem? If there's nothing, we'll get straight to the point. Talk about tomorrow's battle plan." Chu looked at everyone, but no one said anything more. He motioned for the new city. Show the plan to everyone. Lan Tan Than said, the plan they had prepared a long time ago. We're going in tomorrow morning at 2:00. This time, it's the time when people go into deep sleep. It's the easiest to expose. Time is urgent that even the translation chapter didn't expect. He looked at the satellite phone. It is 3:57 p.m. That means there's just over 10 hours left. They had to leave for Jiangning City. Perform the task. Lan new city base as planned. Task content for 3 teams. Current range of enemy activity. It's Jiangnan Square, in the center of Jiangnan City. This is one of the most popular shopping areas in that locality, that they've used jamming technology. Satellite exploration, that we can't track them in real time. Until then, first, we're going to launch a full-scale airstrike to the whole of Jiangnan Square. Then your 3 teams will be the vanguard. From slowly approaching Jiangnan Square. Wait until the enemy appears. Your job is to pull their feet. Conduct combat with them. The rest will be done by the team this time. Team Angel made. For the specific details of the task, Lan Tan Than only talked through speakers. The translation understands that the focus of this mission is still on the Angel team. What do they have to do? Not too many people know. This is also to prevent the condition. Intelligence is revealed. Picture appears, similar to the first battle. Lan Tan Than finished. I looked at everyone again and asked if there was any problem. Smiling cold for an hour. Crossed hands in front of my chest. We're the first few groups to destroy the eclipse. There's something different. They're not all SAO decoys. Only the task can be completed. We can get the positive benefit. There could be a problem. Other people's expressions are the same. They know their own place very well. Early psychological preparation. It's not just about being able to do national things, the people of the world. It's also possible to get a large amount of resources and land. It's totally worth it. Let them take a risk once. Lan Tan Than waited a few seconds to see that no AI objected. Say again, then please go and prepare to fight. Prepare to fight. Raise your eyebrows. He is now fully armed. There is no need to prepare anything special. The Minister of War slowly stood up. To do the campaign this time, the General Department has equipped you. It's a specialized weapon. In a moment, please follow me. He stopped for a moment. Emphasize again. Is a special weapon used by Yen Ven Army soldiers. The band and others heard it. There was a look of curiosity and expectation in my eyes. Special equipment of professional corps soldiers. Snowstorm City. They've never been used. But I've more or less heard of it. Know their superior features. At the beginning of the translation, what appeared first? It's that black waxed up outfit. Along with cold weapons made of adamantium metal. According to the standard, Chu himself stood up. The others also stood up in turn. He is serious about everyone. This battle, related to the reputation of the Jiangnam area, we're concerned with the honor of the country. I urge everyone to kill the enemy. We have to defeat all these wolves. Everyone answered in unison. Loud and steady shout, to the point of shaking the ceiling. No matter where these people come from, no matter if they are evil, despicable, cunning, or cowardly, as before the national significance, they will not hesitate. After the meeting is over, Zhu only left the core people. The conference stops here. Currently, the police chief will lead you. Get armed. God Thunder. Very, very well you stay. I have something to tell you. Are the core members. They've got a more detailed battle plan. Need to discuss. Look at that. Trong Yi also found that there was a warm memory for the school bar. Even if it is in name, he is also the head of the investigation team, at the same angle as Deng the psychic. But it's clear that the school district, not to enter the circle at all. The core of the center, chief of operations. I can only say that Blizzard City is where the real power comes first. Capacity high-low, it's what determines a person's status. Campaign and others, in the footsteps of the school, to walk a circuit to the underground weapons depot. After going through multiple identity verifications, the school has opened the door to the Raw's arsenal. To the eye is a vast arsenal. Inside 7 pleats according to each row of weapons equipped. Battle tank cold weapons guns. Armored vehicles even have armed helicopters. The school turned around. Smiling, hands out to everyone. Everyone. The weapons here you can choose at will. You can hold as much as you can. Raise your eyebrows, oh. The smile on the face of the school is stiff. Hurry up and change your voice. I mean, you can carry a weapon on you. You have space system capabilities. It's not allowed in space. The innocent campaign, shrug my shoulders and whisper into the ear. Your words are redundant. These ordinary devices we're blind to. Inherently, he also doesn't keep an eye on conventional equipment. On the contrary, people are running impatiently into the arsenal, then staring at a lot of new weapons inside. Eyes lit up. The reason why the school muttered without a tiger was a demonstration. The 10-way military is the area for war. Select back and forth. Choose a thick suit of armor. This suit weighs 20 pounds. Outside mosaic encrusted with a lot of metal armor. There's an exoskeleton device inside. It can increase human power. It's very suitable for mutant melee enhancement systems, like him. Some people have a target. Quickly find the right weapon for you. Inside. Some people are thinking, which weapon is right for me? Zhang Yi, after arriving in the combat zone. Then stretch your hand. Take a black wax dress down from the wall. But he frowned a little. The feeling of this, it's completely different from a war suit that he wore in the arena. That day, he tried some more war suits. It turns out that the material is the same. Here's what happens. Maybe it's more advanced than SAO. Think about it here. Raise your head and look at the entire arsenal. Indeed, the weapons here are all very advanced. But they're all common weapons. As for Zhang Yi, hot weapons mean nothing. He's got white pride, and he's got 6 possibilities, special for me. The power of these 2 weapons, no exaggeration, has reached the peak of the hot weapon. The soldiers. Combined with the translation program's ability to use, it can be many times stronger, compared to any weapon. What about cold weapons? The program moves forward. Handle a black dagger, try to hold on hand. This is not adamantium metal, of course. In his heart, he basically understood. Look at the weapons depot that the Jiangnan area opened for them. It's not comprehensive either. It doesn't change its face and then comes back to go next to the adult. He lowered his voice. You're going to make atonement with us, with these things. The school is laughing. This isn't over. Something's wrong with you. Common weapons of Yen Van Army soldiers. It's these things. It's hard to understand looking at him. Well then, the school explained. The uniform you wore in the ring before. It's just the investigation team and a handful of senior people have special powers. New can be used. What about weapons made from adamantium metal? It's the same. It's not a regular item. In the heart of Zhang Yi secretly cursed, the total is calculated. It's come to this point, still not giving them the best weapons. But I think it makes sense. Review for the setting. If those weapons show up on the outskirts, it's all at the spiritual level. If it is widely distributed, it can cause competition. It can also lead to technology leaks. Understand is understand, but the nature of the translation, it has been beneficial so far. That stitching is stupid. He walked to the front of the school and said quietly, either way, you must also give me, and browse a bunch of black suits. The friendship between the two of us, then it doesn't matter. The face of the school seemed awkward. These are all probationary devices. Cannot be arbitrarily assigned to others. Especially the combat outfit. They're all high-tech products. I can't give you either. I just opened my mouth and asked for 2 pieces. Makes him very awkward. That's awkward glaring. Don't do it. Laughing at the school, huh? Don't be so angry. This is annoying, but it's not. Can't be negotiated. If it's someone else, the chief counsel, still have to consider. Likely to die on the battlefield. But if you give it to Zhang Yi, there's absolutely no need to worry about this. In the whole city blizzard, not many people really understand the power of Zhang Yi. The person who knows the most is probably the adult. Because Zhang Yi personally told him that. His power, no less than the late captain of the army, combined with Chong's always hidden way of working. It's harder to want him dead than in heaven. Ask the translation. You say you have to do something. Politburo bar, look left, look right. Dragging the chapter to an empty corner and whispering, I'll give it to you first. Take care of my fighting suit and dance. But when you two get back, it must be returned to us. About weapons, each of you has exclusive equipment. No need to ask for more. The translation is seen, the serious face of the school. In the heart, I also understand how rare that black bunk suit is. It's a pity that I can't get it back. But if I could get 2 sets to wear, it could also increase their ability to survive. In the mission, also NDTO. That's what it says. Back to the arsenal. Pretend to choose some weapons. Others also choose their own weapons. The whole body lacks nothing. Hate can't be armed to the teeth. The standard weapons, used by this Yen Van Special Forces, even though it's mediocre for the translation. But for them, it's all extremely good stuff. After everyone has chosen their weapons, the police chief told them, now people are temporarily staying in the battle center. When the time comes, someone will take you. The battle center is quite large. There's also a rest area, of course. So the psychopaths on the outskirts, divided into groups. There's people like you discussing the next strategy. Some people cultivate their own spirit. Prepare for the big battle to come. Zhang Yi secretly called for a salary review to the team's dedicated rest area, investigating the Black Eagle. Come with me on a trip later. Okay, the police chief took Zhang Yi and his salary. Go to the rest of the team. Biography of the bar. To get back the fighter suit, along with the clothes he gave to the translation school. Don't forget to return it to us when you return. Don't worry, Zhang Yi. Fighting suits are smart stretchers. So in terms of appearance, there will be no mismatch. To promote the delivery of the combat suit of the military force, salary approval. You go there first and change your clothes. I've never seen this black combat suit before. I also heard Zhangji talk about his miracle. When receiving the combat suit, in your heart, not out of aesthetics, you really can get this whole thing. Really bad. She's wearing a combat suit. Quietly went to the women's dressing room next door. Zhang Yi went to the Nam changing room. He just took off his shirt to reveal his strong upper body. After the end of the world, he doesn't stop training every day. So it's a beautiful body. On him, there's hardly any extra fat. Right now, the police chief came in from the outside. And DTO figure. Zhang Yi turned his head. Look at him with serious eyes. In the eyes carrying a watchful look. What are you doing here? Laughing at the school, don't get me wrong. I just want to say a few words to you before you leave. If you have a problem, just ask. The school's expression became serious. Staring at Zhang Yi. The action this time. What do you calculate? The general staff does not know your strength. Put you in formation, according to the arrangements for normal people with disabilities. But I know your power. Absolutely not inferior to the psychic. So you've got the key moment. To arrest the Laurel monopoly, Lao or not. Zhang Yi has changed into a tight suit. He was very happy when he heard that. Do you think I look like that kind of person? The school's valedictorian, without hesitation, nodded quite similar. Formerly in Tianhai City. You've been like that before. Zhang Ji listened to this as if helpless. But in retrospect, it seems to be true. Pretend at first that you're not strong. Then wait for the right time to appear. Then pick the winning fruit. Shake your head. At that time, I wanted to destroy nothing. Protect your own safety. And the people around. As for the mission this time, to be honest, I'm not interested. Those things don't matter to me. The grown-up asked. So what are you for? Not for anything. Zhang Yi smiled. It's simply because we are Chinese. This statement made the eyes of the Chief Justice. Look at the translation. Full of respect. So that's it. Sorry. I thought you had another goal. Laughing, of course, I have my thoughts. It's just at this point. If people lose consciousness, collective honor, the SAO cannot sink. He's leisurely wearing his combat uniform. Carefully stick the nylon tape. It's like this time there's a team of angels as the main force. I will not reveal my identity. We will act when necessary. You can rest assured on this point. I hope you can keep a secret for me. Li Longbar sighed. Captain of the Blizzard investigation team. The withholding of important intelligence information made him. I'm extremely insecure. This is a secret between him and his wife. He has to keep it a secret. But in his heart, he also knew that this secret can't be hidden forever. Until then, how will he face Chu? This issue gives the Chief Justice a bit of a headache. South Africa is a scary thing. It will leave you with a great legacy. It can only be improvised for the time being. School bar nod. Don't worry, I understand. I believe you will not make people 7. She just laughed without answering. This is a quote from the school district. He won't guarantee anything. He can only say that. In scope VI, keep yourself safe and secure. He will try. Destroy as many members of the moon as possible. The school said. Come on, I'll take you to the airport. Airport. Curious to ask under the heat like this. You can even fly. To Jiangnan City is SAO. The school is laughing. Military aircraft are not the same as civilian aircraft. Grand District, there's some really good anti-cold fighters. Is the due style. We've brought the technology of Freeman North into play. To make. It is not possible to fight for 7 years, but it's for short walks. It doesn't matter. The speed of the special train is too slow. Moreover, the city of Jiangning has been infiltrated. A specialized train is very likely to be detected. Freeman is the northern country. Most of the land is in the ice. So, they're very advanced in anti-cold technology. To nod off. Rao is like that. It's just past dawn. In the equipment, information of Zhang Yi and others. It's the voice of God. The soldiers are ready to go. Stand up with the others immediately. 13 people a cat. They split up and went to the train at sea. Then, they immediately got into a black armored car towards the Jiangnam area. In less than 20 minutes, they arrived at an airport. The police officer got out of the car first. Take everyone to the airport. This place is guarded by elite troops. Right at the entrance, these are the 10 members of the YNVN army. Wear black combat gear. Deputy Attorney General, go to check the information with them. The new enemy is allowed to pass. Trong Yi with others. Follow the chief counsel into space inside the airport. Chen and Peng drank together after hesitating for a while. I decided to wear a weapon myself, even though they didn't fully admit it. Is Zhang Yi as his captain. However, in their hearts, they admire the movement. It's good to have spatial aptitude. The police chief led them there, in front of a helicopter. He's just making a gesture. The space inside this combat helicopter is not small. That's enough for 10 of them. But it's still quite widespread. The others are not late either. Get to the helicopter quickly. Second translation account. Chen Zhao Zhao and Peng Li didn't say much either. Get inside the helicopter. To carefully observe one turn. There are 3 types of fighter jets in the airport. He doesn't know about planes, but also read through some military documents. You can recognize each of them. Bomber aircraft. The planes also have combat helicopters. Maybe the dog is a little more careful. I asked the school district attorney if it was too late. Can we make sure we don't get hit? While flying through the air, if attacked, that almost everyone on the plane, they all have to die. Even the most powerful hyperplasia. Falling from the sky thousands of meters high. I'm afraid it will fall into the mud. But with this problem, Zhang Yi is not worried. There's a space anomaly, even if the plane crashes. When flying in the air, you can also lead Theo to browse with Hoa Hoa to escape. The White House heard Africa's question. Then laugh. I haven't waited for the school to speak. Then Main Yang City veteran from Piercing explained. Don't underestimate the defense of the helicopter. Let's fight. This is one of the fighters. It's the most heavily armed group in the country right now. Long application number 17, plus the altitude factor when flying. I can't think of it. Is there any false ability that can shoot it down? If you talk carefully, you will lose nothing. It was the first time he was in a helicopter. Fight. Stress in the heart is inevitable. Before the end of the world, he's just a normal office worker. Asked weakly. So at least tell us that no matter where we are. If there's a problem, we can parachute. The police chief tried to laugh. Don't think about this. At temperatures like this, then stitching specialists like you basic parachute jumpers, they are looking for death. Will freeze into ice cream on the middle stitch. But if you have to measure this problem, there's a parachute behind you. It's true, according to what the school said. Found a camouflage-colored backpack. He hurried to get that backpack back. It's like offering a treasure to the spirit next to you. The spirit gives you. Ha Lin Lin frowned, take the parachute out of his hand, and threw it on the ground. You are too shy. I'm just worried about you. This unlucky thing. You can't say things that are easy to hear. Lower spirit reached out his hand and pulled out his cheeks. It made his already white face sick become whiter. Everyone in the helicopter, they all look at them as if they're having fun. To expand the thought, it's really exciting. She accidentally turned her head and looked out the window. I found it next to another helicopter. Not far away, familiar faces appeared. There's no doubt about it. That's the captain of the Angel Squad. The Deng family lived in the Snow City for magic. The spirit is leading Theo, the members of the Angel Squad. We laughed and walked towards the helicopter. Their actions together with Zhang Yi, with the others, separate Ra. Trong Yip with them is the vanguard, in charge of the lunar eclipse example. To have magic with them. Wait until the enemy reveals the target. Then it's up to you. But compared to anxiety, the tension of the armies on the outskirts, the members of the Angel Squad, it's obviously much more comfortable. Some of them have smiles on their faces. Some people are still in the form of not getting enough sleep. No one took this task to heart. In the snowstorm, the rate of completion of the Angel Squad's mission, they are always the highest. The death rate is also the lowest. In other words, there's never been a task they didn't complete. Again, this time it's the general manager, fully prepared. There is also Chu himself sitting in command. One member yawned and said, "We're on a mission a little early today. I'm still waiting to eat with my wife." Another member laughed. "It's less than an hour. When you get back, your wife won't wake up." On the face, to bring the magic, bringing a smile of equanimity. Hey, don't be disrespectful. The opponent is not weak this time, be careful. Let's have some breakfast. The members laughed in response. "I know, Captain.